StockPulse Newsroom, talking Granite Creek Copper today. It's GCX, Toronto Venture Exchange, GCXXF, OTCQB in the States, coming on the heels of their 43-101 estimate for their high-grade Carmacks project up there in the Yukon. We'll run through the details of that news and get us a little update on the company. CEO Tim Johnson. Tim, appreciate you taking the time here. Certainly a whopper piece of news here with the company. I'll want to dig into that, but before we do, let's maybe catch investors up on your 21 here. Let's slide into that fantastic news.
Sure, thanks. Yeah, really appreciate the opportunity, Rob. Always good to get the story out there and get the story introduced to new investors when we can. So really appreciate this. Yeah, just to summarize Granite Creek, how we got to where we are today. Company's actually fairly new. We launched in January 2019, made an initial acquisition, which represents about 2/3 of our current land position. And then in November 2020, we made a further acquisition by way of merger to get control of the Carmacks deposit itself. And that was an interesting project, had a modest resource on it. And we looked at it for our 2021 exploration campaign. And we felt by aggressively drilling off the sulfide portion of the copper deposit, we could significantly grow resources and would probably lead to us needing to update the preliminary economic assessment that was done in 2017. And that's exactly what happened in 2021. We drilled just over 8,000 meters at the deposit, a bit of other meterage satellite to that. So just around 10,000 total. But 8,000 meters allowed us to grow the resource at Carmacks by over 43% in the measured and indicated category, giving us just around 650 million pounds contained copper, sulfide and oxide combined. So yeah, great success with our exploration team last year. And really looking forward to getting boots back on the ground for their 2022 exploration season and advance the project even further.
Yeah, certainly a solid 21 there, Tim. Well, let's build on that and give investors a look into 22 here. Looks like a busy year coming up for you.
Well, what we're doing, we're working right now with a couple engineering firms to determine who's going to advance our PEA. So we will be updating the 2017 preliminary economic assessment with a new assessment, an updated one that will include all the resources that we've defined. So the previous PEA looked at a portion of the oxide. So now, based on last year's work, the oxide and sulfide is roughly equal. So we've got split almost right down the middle, oxide and sulfide resources. Previous operators had tried really hard to develop a small oxide play and had tried really hard to grow the oxide resources, and were unable to do that. So that's really what created the opportunity for us to come in and have a different look at the property, a new approach, and that is to look at all the resources holistically and develop a new economic study based on that. So we've got 3 conceptual pits now. 93% of the measured and indicated resources report in those pits. There's a small portion that lies underneath the pit, but the majority of the resources we report. So it will likely be an open pit type project. With a local plant, we were looking around a 5,000 ton per day operation. And our goal here is to develop an economic plan that shows at least 15 to 20 years of potential mine life. And I think based on the resources we're there, of course, we have to complete the economics to show that. But I think we're in a very good situation to be able to do that. So we're really keen to get back on the ground. And of course, there will be further resource drilling done this year to continue to expand and to look at some of the earlier stage targets on the property that we think we can add significant tonnage moving forward and show the blue sky potential of the property.
Yeah, let's get into the timing a little bit there, Tim. How's the snow up north? When are you planning on getting in there?
We drilled in May last year. We actually had to clear some snow to get started, but we were able to start very early, which helped a lot because what we've noticed in the past few years is that the assay labs, they get pretty full up in the fall, and it can really delay some of your assays. Some of the drilling, we did do some drilling in the fall. We drilled into October, and we just finally received those assays in January. So that was the time frame. Whereas the drilling that we did in May last year, we were getting them within 3 to 4 weeks. So if we can get in there early, we will. You're right, it is a little bit dependent on the weather. We're keeping a close eye on the snow levels. We have a drill lined up, ready to start. But again, I don't want to move too much snow. I'd rather drill more rock than move snow if we can. So that's part of the consideration to see where things are at. But I expect us to be there, May, April sometime, and then be A similar size program to last year, 8 to 10,000 meters, and in parallel, we will be completing the PEA as well.
Before I let you go here, Tim, look at a little treasury check here for the company. How much fuel's in the tank to carry out the mission? You good for a while? You're going to have to go to the market here anytime soon.
We're good for a while. So currently, we have enough cash on hand to complete the PEA and do a modest program. But if we're going to expand that program to the same size as last year, you're right. We will be looking to do a raise. The company isn't needing cash at the very moment, so we'll see how the market treats the news that we put out recently and see where the share price goes. And we will be opportunistic if we see an opportunity to put some money in the till for an expanded program. We'll do that, but we're not in desperate straits by any stretch of the imagination. We can go for a while.
Okay, certainly a lot to pay attention to. Appreciate that update, and I'll look forward to checking back in when you have some more. That's Tim Johnson. He's the CEO, Granite Creek Copper, GCX Toronto Venture Exchange, GCXXF, OTCQB in the States. Again, Tim, appreciate you taking the time, and we'll look forward to checking back in when you hit the wire again.
Okay, thank you very much, Rob.